Hello and welcome to the Hooniverse and to a brand new video. Now throughout the universe there are many examples of ghosts, angels and zombies, and this collection of creatures hold iconic imagery. So in this quick video I'll be talking about one creature that can be seen as all three of these, and what does it all have to do with a rift in Cardiff and Charles Dickens. This is the history of the Gelth. The Gelth claimed to once be a higher species that once had bodies before the eruption of the last Great Time War, a series of never-ending battles between the Time Lords and the Daleks that blazed throughout not only the stars but time itself. Time used as a weapon, with people's lives extended, reanimated, extinguished, timelines changed, battles that were lost became won and lost again, in a bitter, never-ending cycle, where many innocents were caught in the crossfire. Now it was in this war that the Gelth allegedly lost not only their world, but their bodies too, instead becoming gas. They could shape this gas into wraith-like forms, but they needed to be in a gaseous environment to survive. Once there, the Gelth emitted ghostly screams as they floated around the location at which they congregated, with the colour of the gas indicating the emotion or mood of the creatures. Now eventually they discovered the rift, a tear in the fabric of the universe, of time that allows energy and beings to travel and be transported to different times and places. The Cardiff rift opened in Gabriel Sneed's mortuary in 1869, and the Gelth were attracted to the area since they could inhabit the gas found in the pipes and emerge through gas lamps. They also discovered a more gruesome means of transportation, as they realised due to their location that they could survive in the gases of the decomposing humans, and as the Ninth Doctor put it, use them as a vehicle. The Gelth contacted Gwyneth, Sneed's servant, who had a psychic ability. She thought the Gelth as angels. Through Gwyneth, the Gelth spoke with the Doctor. Presenting themselves as peaceful and facing extinction, the Gelth asked for the Doctor's help in allowing Gwyneth to open the time rift further, allowing through more of their kind. The suggestion of doing this and allowing more Gelth through the rift to inhabit corpses of humans was an idea which horrified the Doctor's companion Rose. But the Doctor, however, accepted the idea as an interim stage before taking the Gelth to a place where he could help them acquire new, specially created bodies, and with the rift opened wider, the Gelth, however, planned to let the billions of themselves through and take the planet by force. Things soon turned ugly as the corpses in the funeral parlour reanimated as Sneed demanded Gwyneth to stop, only to have his neck snapped by a reanimated corpse and be taken over. Throughout this adventure, the Ninth Doctor and Rose were accompanied by Charles Dickens, who soon became overwhelmed by the phantasmagoria, as he put it, that he had witnessed. The Doctor and Rose stared into the eyes of the zombified and possessed humans accepting their fate before Dickens returned with an epiphany, that the moment the house is filled with gas, the Gelth will be sucked out of the corpses like poison from a wound. This is precisely what happened, and the Gelth poured out of the collapsing corpses, screaming and swirling around the confines of the morgue. And with the Gelth unprotected, Gwyneth pulled a box of matches from her pocket as the Time Lord and the surviving humans escaped. The match struck and an explosion erupted, closing the rift in time for now, and destroying the Gelth with fire. A servant girl saved the world and gave her life the minute she opened the rift. Many years later, on the 31st of October 2009, while travelling alone, the 10th Doctor encountered a small group of Gelth in the crypt of Ratchet Abbey, who bridged a gap in the rift through Preston Gilchrist, an eccentric magician and TV presenter, while on the TV show Scared Stiff. The Gelth possessed the bodies of several skeletons from the crypt of the Abbey, along with Preston, and they attempted to open the rift permanently, using Dennis Bridger as a medium. The Doctor distracted Preston by revealing that the television show was a fake, thereby giving him time to close the rift and trap the Gelth within once more. Now at some point it's said that the Gelth travelled to the planet Lushmar, attacking it in an attempt to gain a resource known as Astonics. Much later in the year 3113, the colony of Phantasmagoria 7 was overrun by a wave of Gelth hauntings. While in an alternate timeline where all of history happened at once, thanks to a disturbed fixed point in time, so that in a world that never was, Charles Dickens blocked at the Gelth on Prof T. Witter's instant messaging service, telling them that he wasn't falling for that one again. So, the Gelth. Deceptive ghostly figures that can possess a corpse and kill in the anger of losing their own form. There's not a lot of history to tell for these gaseous creatures, however perhaps there was a little bit more than you first thought in this short history of Who. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment your thoughts, and of course subscribe to see more. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.